Hello, my name is Nelson Pereira from BNET TV. Welcome to CTIA 2010 in San Francisco. And with us is Sam. How you doing, Sam?
Very well, thank you.
Sam, your company, Glacier Peak, what role they play to this market and how the evolution of apps and applications are being shifted and shaped by a company such as yours?
Well, thank you. That's a very good question. Actually, what we do is we're supporting a kind of a paradigm shift, I guess you could say, in the way software is developed. We're trying to shift away from the endless recycling of test and debug and fix and test, and trying to go towards a more automated system where you essentially spend more time talking to your customers, gathering their requirements, and then you let our system generate the code for you, essentially. So it saves a lot of time for the coder. They basically spend more time working on the detailed knowledge of the user's business and understanding how things work. And also, of course, on the platform, they have to think about whether they're going to be on Android or iOS or what their particular platform is. But other than that, they don't have to focus so much on the actual coding and more on the app itself and what the app does. So it's a little different approach.
So they pretty much look at they can concentrate more on the what will bring them the best revenue.
Exactly.
What will bring them to the user interface. In other words, you let the companies become the artists of the platform, but you do the engine behind it.
Correct. That's exactly right. And in addition to that, we also have the ability to optimize over time. So as the user uses our product, or well, really it should be as the user uses the ISV's product, whoever the ISV happens to be, what the user will see is that over time it will become easier and simpler to do the things that they do most often, because it will try to optimize those paths to make them shorter.
Yeah, because you really think about it, most people out there who actually have great ideas in terms of making an app, they want to concentrate on the user experience.
Right.
They want to concentrate on how do I sell this application.
Yes.
They want to concentrate on the artistic side, the different screens and everything. But at the end of the day, they can keep the concentration on that platform. But once it's done, a company like yours will say, okay, we got all your facts. Now let's make this thing happen, and let me show you that we can optimize it, take care of it from the insertion of it to the deployment of it, while you still keep track of your revenues and the satisfaction of your customers.
Correct, exactly. So it lets you really focus more on the business side that you're trying to focus on, rather than having to spend a lot of time focused on the technology side. I know that's a little bit weird for people here, probably, because most people here are thinking, how can I build better code? And we're saying, well, let's focus on how can you build a better solution, and we'll worry about the code.
Yeah, because the code itself is something you can have, a company like yours can be part of, where you don't have to concentrate on what they're concentrating, but you can satisfy whatever their outcome is.
Yes, exactly.
And whatever their platform is at this point. And from my understanding, you're covering multiple platforms in the phone business.
That's correct. We support iOS. We're not quite released on that yet, but we support it. It will be very, very soon. We currently support Android, also Windows Mobile 6.5 and Windows Phone 7. So
I see you guys as the engine behind the actual front, and people enjoy the application and everything, but the workhorse behind it is where a company like yours is actually the non-players behind the scene.
That's correct. That's correct. And it's sometimes difficult for people to understand that if you're looking at it from the user's point of view, because you don't see the toolkit that's behind it.
Correct.
And but we kind of emphasize that. It's like, no, that's all right. You don't have to worry about the toolkit that's behind it. We'll take care of that part, and you just deal with whoever the software vendor is who's supplying your app. They'll be the ones who focus on the customer satisfaction. They take the revenue, and we do most of the work.
Yeah, because for those companies, they have enough work ahead of themselves.
Exactly.
Because they have to collect statistics, they have to find out different ways to show screens, and it's so much work involvement in that they don't need this extra layer, which is a layer. Which reminds me, you have a screen here with the OSI layer. They don't have to worry about that layer of the development. You guys actually come in and make that magic happen.
That's correct. Yes, we're going to enable the ISV or the software vendor to better supply what the user wants, and in addition to that, allow them to focus on exactly what types of revenue streams they're going to generate, and then they don't worry so much about the software as they worry about what parts of their application are used. Now, you mentioned profiling.
Yes.
Essentially, one of the features that we provide is the ability to look at parts of the application and see which pieces are being used heavily and which are not, and that helps the vendor then know, well, maybe that feature wasn't so important. We thought it was when we started, but it doesn't look like it is. It's only getting 10% use. So next time we'll just kind of downplay that and focus more on these other things. It helps them build their business a little bit better.
Well, I can see only the growth of your company, not only being in the United States, but worldwide, because any company like yours, especially stayed here in the United States, where they can take care of not only the United States market, but global market.
Yes, currently as you said, we're in North America, but our plans are to expand worldwide. We have been talking with people both in the UK and also in China to begin doing some business there, but probably not for close to a year or so before we get there, but we're working on it.
Well, Sam, thanks a lot so much for spending time with us. It was totally amazing to see the workhorse behind the application, and because I only enjoy the application, but I don't have to ask questions, where did it come from? But because of you, that magic comes to my phone.
Oh yes, absolutely. That's what we're going to try to do. Continue turning the gears, as it were.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And with us was Glacier Peak, and thank you for coming.